You won't believe these wild NBA moments. From a crazy shot that knocked over the floor sweeper to a player planting a kiss on a grandma. Stick around because it only gets more ridiculous from here. 20. Norman Powell destroys Julius Randle. It's a fast break, the crowd's on their feet, and Norman Powell's eyes are locked on the rim like a predator on its prey. Then, boom, he takes off, soaring through the air with a mission to destroy. Poor Julius Randle didn't just get dunked on, he got erased from existence. The slam was so vicious, the backboard might have felt the trauma, and Randle's pride was left scattered on the court.
Master blaster, that's a...
Fans were losing it, teammates couldn't stop laughing, and Randle, he's probably petitioning the NBA to ban replays. 19. Luka Doncic breaks Drew Holiday's ankles. Luka Doncic had the ball, and Drew Holiday had no idea his ankles were about to file for early retirement. Luka hit him with a crossover so deadly it looked like Drew had accidentally stepped on a banana peel. One move and Drew was stumbling, reaching out for balance like he'd just been pushed off a cliff.
Switching, and they're keeping Drew on him. He falls down and don't do that.
The crowd went wild as Luka calmly passed the ball for an easy bucket, while Drew was left standing there questioning every life decision that led to this moment. This wasn't basketball, it was a public shaming, Luka style. 18. Marcus Smart's Oscar-winning flop. Marcus Smart took one tiny bump and acted like he'd been launched out of a cannon. He flung himself to the floor, arms flying, legs kicking, and a look of pure agony on his face. It was so dramatic even the ref had to double check.
This is the greatest flop in NBA history.
Oh, this is.
Played it off.
The crowd couldn't hold back their laughter, and the commentators were in disbelief. If basketball doesn't work out, Marcus might have a bright future in Hollywood. 17. Refs ignore a clear foul on LeBron James. Game on the line, LeBron barrels to the hoop, gets smacked so hard you could hear it in the parking lot, and the refs, silent like they'd just seen a ghost. LeBron's on the floor, arms out, looking at the refs like, are you serious?
113-107, here's the play. At the end of regulation, LeBron James drives. They thought he was fouled, Lakers very upset.
Then here comes Patrick Beverley, storming in with a camera like a crime scene investigator. The crowd's booing, the Lakers are losing it, and the refs, they're probably applying for witness protection. 16. Crazy shot that knocked over the floor sweeper. The game's on, Landry Fields is focused, but nope, he's got beef with the floor sweeper. He points, probably thinking, do I need to clean this myself? Then, boom, a wild shot flies in and levels the poor sweeper like a bad bowling pin.
This, Matt, look at this. Landry Fields, he didn't like the way the floor was being cleaned, so he points this guy and says, hey, do a better job.
The crowd's dying, players are wheezing, and Fields, he's back in action like, well, that's one way to mop things up. 15. Nick Corrales dunks himself. Nick Corrales stepped up, ready to put on a show, and then he dunked himself. 1 second he's soaring through the air, and the next he's stuck in the rim like a basketball-loving action figure. The crowd went wild, but not for the reasons Nick had hoped. This wasn't just a failed stunt, it was a dunk disaster. 14. Trevor Booker's circus shot. Trevor Booker had 1 second, no angle and zero logic, but who needs that? With a casual tap over his head, the ball floated through the air and swish. The defenders stood there like they'd seen a UFO, while Booker acted like it was all part of the plan.
Booker, got it! Are you kidding?
This wasn't a shot, it was basketball's version of a mic drop. 13. Steph Curry turns his back on a shot. Steph Curry pulled off a move so cold it could freeze time. He launches a three, doesn't even watch it drop, and strolls off like he's too cool to care. The ball, swish. The crowd went berserk. The defenders looked like they needed a hug, and Steph, he probably started texting his mom mid-play. This wasn't just basketball. It was Steph reminding the world he's playing chess while everyone else is still learning checkers. 12. Jason Kidd spills his way to a timeout. Out of timeouts and out of ideas, Jason Kidd grabbed a drink and turned it into a game plan. He whispered to a player, took a bump, and splash! The drink hit the floor like it was auditioning for a soap opera. The refs paused the game. The crowd was confused, and Kidd acted like he just discovered gravity. But the NBA wasn't buying it, hitting him with a $50,000 fine. Let's be honest, he might be the only coach in NBA history to pull off a timeout with a cup of soda. 11. Aaron Gordon's dunk over Landry Shamet. Aaron Gordon blasted off like a spaceship, soaring over Landry Shamet for a dunk so vicious it should have come with a warning label. The crowd erupted. The bench nearly fell over. Shamet? He'll probably avoid jumping with Gordon for the rest of his career. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, the refs called an offensive foul.
Gordon! Oh my goodness!
Oh!
And are they calling that an offensive foul?
Even the rim was offended by that call. 10. Jason Tatum versus Joel Embiid, the duel. Jason Tatum hit a three so smooth it came with its own theme music, and Celtics fans lost their minds. But Joel Embiid said, "Hold my Gatorade," and hurled a full-court bomb that somehow went in. The Sixers partied like they'd won the lottery, until the refs rained on the parade. Turns out Embiid's miracle was just a glorified warm-up shot. 9. Luka Doncic's seated bounce pass. Luka Doncic was literally on the floor, probably more comfortable than his defenders. From his seat, he fired a bounce pass so perfect it sliced through the defense like butter, setting up an easy dunk. The defenders, they looked like they'd just been schooled by a guy waiting for a bus. Luka didn't even stand up. He just sat there like, "Y'all really let me do that?" This wasn't a pass. It was basketball comedy gold. 8. Player planting a kiss on grandma. The game's on fire, tension's high, and wham! A loose ball rockets into the crowd and smacks a sweet grandma square in the face. The crowd freezes, but Kevin Durant, he's already on the move. In true superhero style, he jogs over, flashes a cheeky grin, and plants a kiss right on her cheek.
She got hit with the ball, and she gets a kiss from Kevin Durant. She's going to tell all her friends about this.
The grandma's blushing, the crowd's losing their minds, and KD walks off like it's all part of his job. Who needs flowers when you've got Durant? 7. Ja Morant's dunk on Jalen Smith. Ja Morant took off like a rocket, and poor Jalen Smith was the landing pad. Ja soared through the air, delivered a dunk so brutal it probably knocked Smith into next week, and walked off like he just won a title. The crowd went wild. Smith might have Googled how to disappear, and the rim? It's probably still recovering.
Morant against McConnell. Pick and roll. Morant.
Oh, my word! Holy cow!
This wasn't a dunk. It was a one-man demolition crew. 6. Paul Pierce's bathroom drama. Paul Pierce went down in the 2008 finals, clutching his leg like he'd been hit by a truck. They wheeled him off. The crowd was in tears, and then, minutes later, he came jogging back like he'd just forgotten his car keys. Years later, Paul spilled the truth. It wasn't an injury, it was a bathroom emergency. The wheelchair wasn't for his leg, it was for his dignity. 5. Donovan Mitchell's 71-point night. Donovan Mitchell turned into a human cheat code, dropping 71 points and leaving the Bulls looking like traffic cones. He even missed a free throw on purpose, tipped it in, and kept the party going in overtime. The Bulls' defense might as well have been invisible. Mitchell wasn't playing basketball. He was hosting his own scoring parade with no invitations needed. 4. Tracy McGrady scores 13 in 35 seconds. Down by 8 with 35 seconds left, T-Mac turned into a one-man wrecking crew. He drained threes like they were free throws, snatched the ball like it owed him money, and left the Spurs looking like they'd seen the ghost of Michael Jordan. The crowd went absolutely berserk, and McGrady walked off like he'd just unlocked a cheat code. It was basketball's version of a robbery in broad daylight. 3. Rockets missed 27 straight threes. The Rockets didn't just go cold, they turned into an ice sculpture. 27 straight threes missed, each one uglier than the last. Fans started praying, the Warriors were probably stifling laughter, and the rim? It deserved hazard pay for all that abuse. It was a masterclass in how not to shoot threes. 2. J.R. Smith forgets the score. NBA Finals, Game 1, tie game, 5 seconds left. J.R. Smith grabs the rebound and dribbles out the clock like they're up by 20. LeBron's face screamed, "What are you doing?" while the Warriors stood there, probably wondering if they should thank him. The crowd was in shock. J.R. looked completely lost, and the Cavs' chance at a win vanished into thin air. It was the most unforgettable brain freeze in NBA history. 1. Dennis Rodman marries himself. Dennis Rodman didn't need a teammate to make history. He just needed a wedding dress. In 1996, Rodman crashed his own book launch wearing white lace, a pearl necklace, and a smirk that screamed, "Yeah, I'm doing this." Then he dropped the bomb. He was marrying himself. Cameras couldn't stop flashing, fans were stunned, and Dennis, he called it the ultimate act of self-love, proving once and for all, he doesn't just break the rules, he throws them out the window and dances on the pieces. What a journey through the most ridiculous moments in NBA history. From jaw-dropping dunks to unforgettable brain freezes, these moments prove the NBA is as unpredictable as it gets. Which one had you laughing or gasping the most? Let us know in the comments. If you love this video, like, share, and subscribe for more epic basketball content. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to never miss an update.